as you can see, we look different. It's that HD quality, It's that HD quality. Welcome back to the CDMS podcast. The podcast where we deliver you your monthly. When that's
monthly is putting it too far. 2 months is more like it.
Yeah, every 2 fucking months. Welcome to the CDMS podcast, and I am one of your co-hosts, and with my other co-host.
Hello.
For those who don't know, I'm Mario. This is Cameron. Introduce.
It's always an introduction. New faces, old faces, all faces get an introduction to us. Hi, hello. It's been a minute, guys. So I mean, it hasn't actually been 2 months. I don't think we actually would be able to survive if we waited 2 months to release another episode. But it's good. It's good to be back. Ain't gonna lie. I've been busy. So that's why the episode has been kind of a little lackluster. Being an adult sucks. I thought you was telling me something. Can you I'm too far back, I think. Okay, there we go. Now I can actually see the ring moving. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. So instead of me talking to myself, I'm actually talking to the viewers. Oh my god, I gotta move my microphone. Scrunch it up. Just scrunch it up a little bit. Yeah. Learning my ass. Stop saying we learning. We're just bad at this.
No, I said we're rusty.
Oh. You said we're rusty.
Yeah.
Very. Well, I mean, first off, gotta start off correctly. How you been, friend? How you been? How you been?
Almost everywhere. Oh, how I've been.
Yeah. How have you been? I don't know why it keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, I don't either. We're just gonna roll. Gay. That's how I've been. I've been gay. Been better. Now I'm gay.
Been gay, like the shit you rub on your skin. You just been gay. Well, I think I've been the same as well. I think I've been pretty gay as well. Oh no, it's doing it again.
That's all. Yo, that's all. You might have just said the wildest.
Been gay, but just turned 22, so woo. Had to enjoy my birthday. It just passed maybe a couple of days ago.
Birthday was 5 days ago.
Oh my god, it's my mouse. It's wait.
Well, while he gets that situated.
Yeah, it's not letting me back into the full screen. Now it's just me. Oh, there we go. Rusty, just rusty. Oh no. Ugh. Friend, I don't think you should let them see the duct tape. I don't think you should let them see the duct tape.
I agree.
That so side was just recognizing that you might have just fucked up. But enough of the random rambling. You ready to talk about the topic of the day, friend?
Yeah. So, topic of the day. Let's just get into it.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Digital Circus. We watched episode 1, and we watched episode 2. Watched episode 1 months ago. Watched episode 2. I think what? Last morning?
Yeah, last morning.
Yeah. And I have I have one theory about Caine as a character. Episode 2 had a lot of
lore.
I guess twist.
A lot of like a
I
lot
don't
of
know about.
what I
I
mean
don't know
by
if I can say war.
what I mean by lore is like we already knew Caine was technically the god of this universe or whatever digital space they're inside of, but now we learn that even the characters, the NPCs that Caine makes aren't even aware of what they are. But we'll more go into depth later when we're explaining ourselves. But I feel like episode 2 gave us a lot more lore. It gave us a kind of a different perspective of every character, and if anything, I see that some people actually aren't even happy with a couple of small changes to some of the characters like Jack. I saw some people disliking the way they written Jack in episode 2.
What are they complaining about?
They're complaining about the fact that he's. I mean, in episode 1, Jack was the asshole character. That was something that they made very prominent. But I think people are necessarily complaining about the fact that I forget her name, the um the comedy character.
Molly? No.
Yeah, yeah. The
No, that's the right. That's the other one, the one with the red hair.
No, she doesn't have red hair. I'm talking about the comedy mask character.
I wasn't. I said Molly's the other one. It's the one with the red hair.
Oh,
Or I think it's or Ragna. One of the two.
Ragna is
I see.
the ragdoll. Molly, I guess Molly is the name of the Miss Comedy Mask. But people were upset
But
about the.
Molly's that like Ragna. I think her real name is Molly.
But I mean, but that's not the character that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
Um,
know you're talking about. I know you're talking about the comedy person.
yeah, and people dislike the mistreatment of her, even though in episode 1, not Molly, but whatever the comedy mask character's name is. I'm assuming that you're looking it up right now,
Yeah.
and so um the mistreatment of the character, and then I am also assuming because I didn't finish the video. I was watching it while I was at work and my phone died. And
Wrangle.
Wrangle, that's the name. Oh, like Wrangle, like a Pringles can. Jesus. Oh, blight. And I'm assuming the genocide that Jack led upon the Candy City. Because at the end of it, so he did kind of just say, "Hey, let's just commit mass genocide, real quick." In a technical sense, by releasing the fudge monster back into the Candy Village, being that they put the candy that fudge monster in that lake for that same purpose, or at least Caine did, if I'm assuming.
I mean, it wouldn't matter if the world was just gonna be reset like after the level ended. The world probably is gonna be reset. So yeah, he might have got a chance to actually attack him, or the world just probably just reset as soon as they all exit out of it. But as I was saying before, my theory on episode 2 with the NPC characters, Pomni and I forgot the dude's name. Is
Gelly Goo. Gelly Goo, that's my
yeah.
name.
When they fell what they fell off, didn't they fall off a cliff and ended.
No, when the trucks like collided into like a rock cliff, or like both rocks, or not both rocks, but both trucks collided into the rock face, they kind of glitched inside of the map and fell through. And at first, I thought it was the
So,
void that they had went into, but it's actually the inner working grid, the honor
no,
grid.
once the void has its own you type of thing, but when they went into the map, that made me think of a theory about Caine as in kind of how he's like the biggest mystery so far, because as right now we pretty much have the personalities of our characters. Jack's asshole, Pomni losing her mind every single episode.
Mm-hmm.
Ragna, me personally, I just don't care about Ragna like at all. She's just there. She's like the girl. She's like that person that tries to be friends with everybody, but it's like, but why?
Because this
King.
guy.
Mangle, the comedy relief. But my theory on Caine, okay. My theory on Caine is that he brought basically everybody in that world, like the ones that are trapped inside the digital circus, they are actually able to escape, or not even escape, but to actually go back to the real world. And Caine is actually a part of that world. Like he is a part of that world. Whatever happens in that world, he basically controls, and in all the different dimensions are still a part of the digital circus. So he intentionally or unintentionally, or even both, have brought people to that world because he lonely. Because think about it. What if Caine was the first one there out of everybody, and he's been there the longest? When it makes sense for him to like have completely lost it along the way and start bringing people there to like entertain himself or just to have people around?
I don't want to say necessarily that I believe that Caine is a part of the universe. I wholeheartedly believe that he's like some form of a ringleader, but I wouldn't say necessarily that he's a part of the universe. I would think of more Caine that he's probably. I feel like this is a straight up SAO type of situation, like nerve gear and everything, because they even showed us the computer and the headset that Pomni were wearing, and it's decrepit. There's the spider webs all over it. So that means that either that computer has been sitting there for a very long time, or time while inside the digital circus. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Time inside the digital circus works differently from time inside actual space. And so because of that, that means that Caine has to actually be an actual person controlling the digital circus while inside the nerve gear as well. And so as I was saying, I believe that Caine is actually the developer or a director inside the whoever made this AI system, and he himself is actually self-trapped himself inside the digital circus so he could live on his omnipotent god type of status, because we know that from episode 1 that Caine has godlike powers and that he can get rid of the destructive okay, wait. Hello. Okay, there. Caine can get rid of the destructive characters, the different characters that get teleported into the oh my fucking god, man. The different characters that get teleported into the digital circus. And so being that he can get rid of the instructor like that, he can get rid of the whatever glitch that causes them to like phase out of in and out of reality. He can get rid of that in a blink of an eye. There's like, yeah, he could be a part of the actual system, but they would still have to be limits on what Caine could do if he was a part of the AI. And I would think that Caine, not necessarily he wouldn't know that he was AI, because if we're following on the theory that he's been stuck there all this time and wanted to bring people into his reality, that means Caine is aware that he is actually an AI and an NPC himself. And so I would feel like he would. Hmm?
I say it could be.
And so I feel like if that was the case, and he's aware of the fact that he's an NPC, he would make it not necessarily a lot harder for them to figure out like how to actually get out or what's really going on. Because truthfully, I don't think Pomni. Well, we obviously we know that Pomni was never actually supposed to find that area inside the under the map, and Gamagu was never supposed to find out that he was actually an NPC. Because once Gamagu figured out that he was an NPC, his entire world crumbled, obviously, because he figured out that that his existence never actually even mattered. And so that's why I feel like it's like this has to be like someone playing games
with these people, and all these people that are coming in, either they're like their personalities match their characters in a way, and so whatever outward existence they had outside of the world, they bring it inside of the world. And so if Jack was an ass, like since Jack is an asshole character, snarky, cynical, he was exactly like that in the real life. Caine, he's this kooky, crazy um guy who just wants people to have fun while they're stuck inside this universe that he knows that my god, it's stuck inside this universe that they know he can't leave. So I believe that Caine has to be someone inside of real life that self trapped himself in this world for him to be a god.
Um, I don't know. I don't really like the idea
Okay.
that he self-trapped himself in the world just because you said like, okay, so it's based off if they took their personalities from the real world into this world, and and if Caine self-trapped himself in this real world, that doesn't make sense for him to want to trap other people in the real world. Well, in the digital circus, if the whole point, if I want to see people being happy and having fun, so that must have meant in the real world he was a creative person that wanted to make fun stuff for people, or which could raise the theory that he's the main developer of the digital circus
Mm-hmm.
and most likely got trapped, but self trapping himself to be just to feed his god complexion ego. That doesn't make sense. He hasn't really shown that he has such a god complexion ego. Now he's like, because if he had that, then he wouldn't have went out of his way to save Pomni from the void, because he obviously cares about the people there when he's there, and I don't think he's and I don't even think he's that much of a god, because how long was Pomni just lost in the void before Caine even noticed? Like, so
Um.
he's not completely omnipotent. He's most likely nigh omnipotent.
Well, I mean, yeah, in the context of the fact that he had to have the watch alert. Oh God, have to have the watch alert him of the fact that Pomni was inside the void, and so I guess nominating to could be it. I believe that this nerve gear. Oh my God, some is like I'm because I'm gonna continue with my comparison to SAO because this is this is like the closest thing that we have to a comparison to, and you can't deny it. Because I remember I told you about that fan art of all the different characters and all of them in the nerve gear and all of them sitting in the chairs and they're all dead. They're all dead, all mentally dead and transferred inside the digital circus. And so I believe personally that it's just that this nerve gear that because if we're going to continue with the theory that the creator of the digital circus was a kind man who wanted more people to come into the game purposely to have fun and not get trapped, then that means that somebody else or either the nerve gear itself malfunctioned and has trapped them inside the nerve gear, sentimental shock inside of the into their brains, and now they're now trapped inside of the digital circus. But if that was the case, that would mean there needs to be more people. It wouldn't make any sense that there's only these 5 people inside the machine, because I don't believe that Caine is purposely bringing these people into the world. Cause cause it's weird, because in the first episode, if you remember correctly, there's the scene where they were walking Ragatha, Pomni, and Jack were walking down the aisle, and on the different doors of many different people that were there, but all of them were xed out because they were extracted. So okay, there's more people have been here. but they have.
My thing, and that's the thing. I'm not really getting about Caine's character. If he can remove the distracted from you, and okay, but what way? But in what way does it do that? Does it remove the distraction from you?
He doesn't. If
Because
you're, my bad. Go ahead.
the way it looks is when they're distracted, it's because they either given up
Mm-hmm.
or went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or most likely both, because you can't really. I don't think if you have a strong will, then you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Unless, history says otherwise. But that was not the point.
King can't get rid of the instructor.
Let's just stick to the whole. Will lost the will, gave up, and that's it is.
Mm-hmm.
But or you just went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So
same thing with like Cosmo because
even so.
Go ahead.
Because wouldn't it? Okay, let's okay. He's able to remove the distracted, in some way, form, or fashion. Okay, how is he able to do that? Is he warping these? Is he wiping these people's memory? Can't be doing that because they obviously remember everything for the most part, or that's what we're being led on to believe that they remember every single one of their adventures. And even King being even the King or the chess piece being the second oldest person there. Even he's like even he's very forgetful because he's just been there for so long, and he hasn't abstracted or gone crazy yet. He's just been kind of just forgot a lot of stuff.
I think in the place of King, um, I think they purposely make him like that to where he's just forgetful because they did say that he was the most quote unquote crazy one of the group, and so with it like him randomly forgetting stuff, him not even realizing that Molly when she was standing right next to him, he would just start screaming like oh like as if she wasn't already standing there, and so I don't really think you can say King is a good example of a character not becoming an extracted because if we're keeping the same theory that the extracted are people that have given up will or people that have found the exit, but because of the fact that they know that the exit isn't actually an exit, they have gone crazy. And so all the extracted are people that have given up hope. Done deal. And if you get tagged by an extracted, they didn't show us necessarily that they get turned into extracted, they just get very glitchy. And I'm assuming that if you get destroyed by an extracted, then it's like SAL all over again. Die in the real world. And so
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do not. I have never seen Sword Art Online. I do not care about Sword Art Online, and I don't want to compare this to Sword Art Online because I just
I'm
don't like the so.
I'm just comparing.
I get you I get you comparing the whole gear or whatever, but that's not something that any of us know. All we've gotten from like was one scene of an old computer and some headphones. That could really mean anything. That could mean Pomni was a developer or
But
someone who worked on the project, or it could have been someone who like just stumbled upon it
but
one day because the building is old and kind of looked abandoned. So it could have been, oh, I'm just exploring this, and I pick up these headphones, and it's abandoned. Could have been re-innovating it or anything. Like
it's
I feel the scene could be there to lead people on to the wrong idea.
mm, I would agree with you if they didn't say in the first episode or they showed Pomni trying to take off the headset when she got there, and so that's why I'm constantly making the comparison to the headset in SAO because that was something else they did in SAO. Everyone tried taking off their headsets. And even Jack and Ragatha oh no, Jack was the first one to say it because he made a snarky remark like, "Yeah, we all tried that, but good luck with that." And so that's the only reason why I'm going so heavy with the comparison because the comparison is just so it's too similar. It's a little bit too similar. That's the only reason why I keep making the comparison. because there's nothing else we can go off of. Like I said, the computer is decrepit, and so I just still think that time works differently inside the digital circuits. They could have been truthfully, they could have been all been inside this headset thing for years, and maybe they've been transferring from different worlds and different universes, different AI systems, and each time they die or are extract, they just come back because they can't leave. They can't take off the headset, and so their only thing they can do is just come right back. And so that's why I feel like, okay, I'm gonna bring back King. I'm gonna bring back King. I feel like if I'm making this theory right now, I believe King has already died and has came back already because of the fact that he's so forgetful. He's not aware of anything. Yeah, and like Jack Ragatha and everyone said, he's the one that was there before everyone else. And so either he knows something that they don't that he knows something about Caine they don't know, or he knows something about this world that they don't know. And because of the fact that he's been going through this for so long, doing everything for so long, that his mind is fried, but he's not but he can't be extracted because he's technically hasn't given up hope.
No. What I'll say, there's a quote as after Caine kills, but how do you say his name? Elegoo? Yeah, that after he kills him, he says, "Well, we can't have that. You know, it would be bad if I couldn't tell, because I can't tell the difference between humans and NPCs. Why can't you tell the difference between human and NPCs? Like, why is that? Obviously, there's a difference between a human and a NPC. There's a huge difference, and you was able to tell that instantly when that dude walked in. And so it's like, what's that about? That doesn't make any sense to me. How you can't tell when Pomni already got that there was already a room and everything made for her with her picture on the damn wall. So how can you not tell the difference between a human and an NPC? How do you accidentally mess that up? And if that's the case, and he said that in a way where, like, oh damn, I made that mistake before and that happened, that's not gonna happen again. So you've accidentally killed humans. And and, and I just saw a theory where they're like, oh, Pomni isn't a human. And I'm like, well, that theory is out the window, because if she wasn't human, then why would Caine just have her around? If Caine, like, just like with King, if he was not human and he was NPC, why wouldn't Caine just instantly kill him or reset him to his difficult setting or default setting? Just like with Pomni, just like with any people. Because if he cannot tell the difference between a human and an NPC, couldn't he just kill a human and just bring him right back? But not in the same way, but in the sense of they're now a mindless NPC that can basically be reset at any point in time. See what I'm saying? Or is it a bit of a reach?
I mean, I don't want to say it's a bit of a reach, because I feel like if that was the case, Caine, No, I feel like Caine would be able to tell between the NPC and a real person. But I do agree. There is a chance that Caine has accidentally killed someone thinking that they were actually an NPC and they were an actual person. But then it still wouldn't make any sense because, like you said, they already. But well, no, I think I would believe they had the room ready after she came there, and so I don't want to say they already had the room there for her, but the room was prepped for her when she got there.
But my thing is, literally no one knew she was there until Caine made a whole musical breakdown about it, and literally as soon as she got there, here's Caine. Literally, like as soon as here's Caine. Hey, say hey, welcome to the Digital Circus, and you're home basically forever.
No, well, that was after them realizing that Pomni was there because they was already in the middle of their welcoming song, and then Pomni got magically transported into the world, and then that's when Jack said like, "Oh, if this is a new one of your new playthings, you know we're gonna have to redo this entire song again." And so I don't think the other guys were aware of it, but if Caine was aware, he played it off very well because he was just too ready to show Pomni everything. He even showed her the void. I don't really think Caine. I think. Oh, okay. You say something because I want to think about this theory real quick before I say something.
What I'm looking at the opening, and obviously someone has to know that Pomni is there. As soon as she spawns in, because there's like these object and eye. There's literally a freaking eyeball looking at her that looks like one of the eyeballs that is in Caine's mouth.
Wait,
and a bunch of objects circling around her.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. What scene is this? Like
this is literally the first. This is literally the first 40 seconds. Yeah, literally, she spun. They're doing a welcoming song, and she sponged in at.
Look at this shit. Let me.
She sponged in at 50 seconds.
50 seconds. Okay.
And because the objects are already circling around her before she even spawns in, and you could say, well, they was probably circling as the intro song was going on. But then again, it's like, I don't know.
I see what you mean, but if anything, I would think okay. I see what you mean, but I think that's a little bit of. I feel like that theory is a little bit far stretched now. For that to be either a summoning ritual. Is that what you're getting at?
I'm not getting at that it's a summoning ritual. I'm getting at that as soon as she got there, Caine had to be aware of something. Maybe it wasn't. I'm not going to go that far as saying it's a summoning ritual. That's a bit. Yeah. That we will have to wait from episodes just to see how busted Caine really can get. Because if you're telling me Caine can see that, because I feel like there's gonna be an episode where basically everybody's in the adventure, something goes very wrong, or basically everything hits the fan, and Caine is basically forced to come in and say, okay, adventure's over, gotta kill this thing, boop, goodbye. And adventure's over, everybody's safe, episode ends. Credits. I can see that basically, I can definitely see that happening one episode. Just to show that, oh yeah, Caine is that one. Caine, the one that's trying to catch a body.
Dang, I was just trying to do the Gojo meme. For I alone am the one.
For I alone, I am the honored one.
I am the digital one.
Ooh, I like that.
See,
I am alone.
I am the digital one. But
back to the our we're basically the game theorists at this point. Um, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. That's so funny that I said that you just started talking. Oh, we done lost you. But while you're trying to fix it, I'll say my theory. My theory is Caine purposely showed Pomni the void to basically show Pomni the void to let her know about this area, obviously to let her know about the area, but to know that if there is the two locations that I want you to see, oh, but welcome back. These two locations to see, and I told you don't venture out into this abyss. And the fact that she went through the exit door and she eventually got to the void. And he said himself, "Whoa! If I was a little bit too late, she could have been vaporized." Ah, that means I feel like the void is the exit, and the only way out is death. And the void is essentially some form of I don't want to say interdimensional plane, but it's like everything that the digital circus is inside and out is being flowed like flushed through their brain. And if they like stayed, obviously if they stay in the void too long, they eventually die. Because there's a scene where while Pomni's in the void, it's just a bunch of flashing lights in her iris, and I'm automatically assuming that she's like just either gawing at the fact that she's just floating in nothingness and eventually about to become nothingness, or it's she's each time they go into the void, they eventually learn something. But because of the fact that the only two people that have, oh well, we're aware of that have ventured out through the exit gate is Pomni and Cosmo. Cosmo obstructed, and if Pomni stayed out in the void too long, she would have died. And so they purposely showed us that computer. I agree, to make us be conspiracy theorists, but at the same time, that same headset, it's too obvious it not to be to mean something.
I don't know.
Because Pomni ignored it as well. Like they could have animated her walking over to the computer, but they let us focus in on the computer, and instead of Pomni going towards it, she continued to go through the exits. Either Pomni recognized that that was her computer and she ran from it, or that is either Caine's computer, but we don't know yet. Because they even showed us the computer at the end of episode 1, alluding to the fact that computer is important.
But there's a scene where Caine in the bubble is talking at the little
restaurant
coffee. The restaurant with the NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
And I frankly remember a scene where he was talking about how the reason why the void even exists is because he hasn't created something. He hasn't created basically
anything for it.
Yeah. And I'm like, could be that's the reason why it exists, but then why not just create something?
Yeah.
What like do you have? Like, what are you waiting for?
Truthfully,
you have literally all the time in whatever dimension that is.
But you don't have an idea of what you want to do with it. But you create this area that leads into nothingness.
Maybe he didn't create the void. Maybe the void was just always there.
And he created the circus from the void.
Could have, because then that leads into a theory that I don't think anybody is ready for. The chicken or the egg theory. Like, which one came first? Which one came first, the circus or the void?
I think the void. I think the void. If you ask me,
because that's like, oh god, please don't start me on these fucking
See what I'm saying?
these theories, these fucking theories. Oh my god, don't get me started because now we gotta compare it to the real life world. Which came first, Earth or space? Or well, space, because technically the rocks. I mean, technically,
It
Earth
depends.
Earth is a
It
rock.
depends on if you go based off the Big Bang Theory, then space. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say because even in some mythology, even well, really in a lot of mythology had that saying there was nothing, then there was something, which also come from the Bible, which is also the Big Bang Theory. But and I think that's kind of crazy how that all these different cultures and scientific cultures all have the same kind of the same sense of like, well, at one point in time or another, there was nothing, then there was something, and eventually the cosmos thing formed. And I think that is so dope. But I feel like so many people just are so caught up in like the wrong thing, they can't see how crazy all these beginnings, all these mythologies are from like the very first. I think the most unique one may be like Japanese, and because Noah was technically the one that made the plants and made the humans out of clay and stuff like that. But but as far as the Greeks,
and that's Chinese.
Yeah, and everything else, it's like, oh yeah, it was always like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's almost like in this kind of linear here. In Japanese, it's kind of like everywhere because it really depends on. But yeah,
culture and traditions and teachings. I get what you mean, but if we're continuing with the which one came first, the chicken or the egg, in the context of the void, then that still goes on to the theory that Caine. No, that goes back to your theory that Caine is actually an AI program. But I don't want to say necessarily that he's an AI program that got lonely. I low key feel like he's just an AI program that learned not to be an NPC and actually started actively using
no,
everything.
I don't think he's an AI. Well, the way I view it is, I feel like he's a god that got lonely, in the sense of like, I'm here
With nothing to fucking
it's
do.
like, yeah, and it's like he obviously, and it doesn't make any. Well, then okay, that theory kind of falls flat now thinking about it because if okay, so he can't be lonely because while they was on their adventure, he was doing his own thing with the bubble.
With the bubble.
So
that's trying to cut back on smoking bubbles.
yes.
Truthfully, I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't give us enough to work with these 2 episodes. They give us stuff to make theories about. Because
I think that's good because it
as a certain layer to the show.
Yeah, it adds fan lore to the song. Just like with FNAF. I'm gonna say one thing about this show that I don't like, but it's not a bad thing. I don't like how grim this show is off rip. It's like in your face. Everybody's fucked. Off rip. So I don't like it because it's like, okay, so the worst that can happen is everybody die, and if that's the case, then why did I spend all my time invested in this? So if that's the case, so obviously someone's gonna escape at the end, or Pomni's gonna figure out the way because apparently she's obviously the main character. So because I promise if they pull that, so. Because there's 3 ways I feel like this show could end. These 3 ways the show could end, it make me mad as a person that's invested into the show, because I can't yet call myself a fan of the show yet, just because there's not enough episodes of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like Jack. I don't like Jack at all.
Oh,
I'm gonna be honest. King and Pomni are the only characters I actually like. I don't care about Ragatha. Caine is Caine. Caine is like, I know you're evil. I'm just ready. I'm just waiting for you to show me that you're evil.
Facts. I'm just ready for you to show me your sides, your coins.
So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna butcher the hell out this reference. Show me your master plan, Eisen, or yeah, that's Eisen. You can tell I've never seen an episode of Witcher.
Yeah, because I'm like, you make a reference to a fucking show that you have never watched, don't like.
I don't like it because I don't care about swords.
But I ain't gonna say that. I mean, there's a bow. There's a chick that uses fucking fairies to fight. There's Chad who uses his fist. I mean, and it's not just sword. Every character's weapon is different. Yes, their main form is a sword. Yes, but every person's weapon is different. If I'm not mistaken, there's a guy who has a ball and chain. Not a ball and chain. Well, ball and chain with a sickle. I think that that's one. Fucking. Oh God, what's another really creative one?
Who's the guy that's like who doesn't take anything seriously? But when he does, the fight's like over like instantly.
Wait, listen, don't get me started. I can't think of his name right now, but I know exactly who you're talking about. He's one of the captains, and he's actually.
I know his name started with a K.
Oh my god! Now you're about to make me go look him up, because he's actually one of my favorite captains out of the entire show. I love the first fight between him and Ichigo.
I've seen 2 scenes of that character, and it's one where he's fighting Ichigo, and Ichigo is like, "Oh, I'm main character," and then he hit him, and it's like, "No,
I'm main character."
And the second thing I saw of him, of when he basically cut a meteor in half, and I'm like, "Huh."
Okay.
Well, damn.
Well, actually, what's so crazy is he's, if I'm not mistaken, because it's been a minute since I watched Bleach, I'm not gonna lie, and so I might butcher this, but if I'm not mistaken, he is technically the 3rd strongest, like either or 2nd strongest, like raw power, because I learned something about his character that doesn't get explained into later into the show, but obviously every character has a Bankai, but he's the only one in the entire show that doesn't have a Bankai, because his Bankai isn't actually like a sword or weapon. Oh my god, I'm getting chills just explaining it, because when I found out about it, I was shook, because that makes so much sense. So, oh my god, I need to find his name. Oh my god, but his Bankai is an actual person, and everyone can see Kenpachi. Kenpachi. So Kenpachi's Bankai is that pink-haired little girl. His second in command is his Bankai. And when I found out about it, it made so much sense, because she is actually stronger than Kenpachi, because she's the sword. She's Kenpachi's literal weapon. And so, and the reason why she doesn't get in the way of Kenpachi, because she already knows that Kenpachi can do anything. I mean, he sliced a fucking meteor in half with raw brute strength. And so she doesn't even try to mess with Kenpachi. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything yet. But someone who watched the later episodes of Bleach told me that, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking dope. Because there's a scene in Bleach where
you have the little girl, and she, and like in one scene she's like, oh, I'm scared, and then they cut to the scene, everyone in the room is dead, and it's just her. And then here comes Kampachi just walking along the way like, little girl, who are you? And she's like, I want to come with you, Kampachi. He's like, all right, come with me, we'll travel the world together. And then they go kill the fucking then they go kill the captain, and he becomes the captain of, oh my god, I think it's the 13 court squad. um and I forget the name of the character, but there's a certain character that also hates Kenpachi because of the fact that he literally waltzed into the spirit realm and just said, I don't like you, slash, and killed him. Like I'm butchering the scene a lot, but that's essentially what it is. He just went and done him and became the captain. Bleach is good. Like there's a lot of shitty scenes. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of shit in Bleach. And there's some, like, the entire Balk art is fucking garbage. And so if you ever gave Bleach a chance, just skip that. Skip that, like, and because it's, I think, 2 whole seasons worth of anime. And because that was back when anime, if they couldn't continue with the main series, they had to create some form of a filler arc to fill in the space between each thing. Because I don't even know if the bout is actually in the manga. But
I'm gonna get back on Jax. I just thought about something.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I don't like Jax is because he's too much of an asshole. Like, I don't like. A good asshole character can really elevate a show.
It can
really elevate media in general. Like, who's a good asshole character?
Fuck. Why you gave me something difficult at the top of my head. Damn. Monokuma from Danganronpa. But
did the teacher count? Sensei? No.
What teacher?
Assassination Classroom.
No, he doesn't count.
That first season though, he was like, "I will destroy the moon." Wait, didn't he destroy the moon like the first episode?
Mm-hmm. He turned into a crescent moon. To initiate the crescent moon. Damn, I really can't think of any ass. Urza from Akame got killed.
I would have said wasn't she the one with the dog?
No, I was Ice Queen.
That's General SF.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about. I just didn't say General. But in that other character, no one liked.
It's got to be the justice girl. It's got to be the one. It's got to be the justice girl. But she's an asshole. That's the point.
Yeah.
She's like, for justice. Because I mean, you gotta think. I kind of feel bad for her character because she was kind of brainwashed to be like that. But then again, fuck you.
You killed
empathy for you?
You killed my queen. We did, and don't give me started on Akame got killed. Oh my god.
Akame got kill has ruined so. I'm not gonna lie. Akame got kill has single-handedly ruined so many. Has ruined so many different anime tropes for me. Like, for me, if there's an anime where the cast is just dying every episode, I'm mostly not gonna watch. Like with JJK, I'm not watching a Shibuya arc. I'm good on that. I know. But
I mean, okay,
I know. Like, but
you read it.
Like, they're like, yeah, I've read it already. But I don't mean I want to watch it. I don't want to watch that shit. Why do I want to see Nanami die again? Why don't she Nobunaga die again? Like, I actually like those characters. Like, it's the fact that people try to compare her to Sakura so much and they just couldn't. They're like, she's basically the new Gen Sakura. No, she's not. No, she's not.
Well, no, in a sense, but like in a way they just threw her away. Like if she was a piece of paper, yeah, she's the new Gen Sakura. They didn't give Noah Bauer any screen time besides like the couple of times where she's getting shitted on, or like that one.
She didn't really get shitted on. She didn't really get shitted on.
Yeah, I mean, before you had said something, but then they would be like, "Well, guess what? Hairpin. I tricked you, hairpin."
Yeah, she was low key like the smartest one in the thing. Well, low key probably one of the best or close. She was probably closer to mastering her technique than Yuji and Megumi was, especially Megumi. But that's because I don't like Megumi at all. I don't care about his character. I definitely don't care. you talk about not getting screen time. Megumi is about to disappear from the anime for a while.
Well, I mean, because I watched the Shibuya arc, so now I can actually talk about it. Megumi is gonna disappear because he was supposed to die, and the fact that Sukuna stopped him from dying, and Sukuna even said, "I'm taking you with me," and so Megumi is gonna be with Sukuna, and whatever God knows what was with Sukuna, because I don't even necessarily know when Yuji's gonna change back into Sukuna. I guess I have to either wait into the anime or start reading the manga.
You just read the manga.
I'm lazy.
If you don't read the manga, then watch the theory. Just watch anime balls deep.
Fuck no, nigga. Man, you almost say me say something blasphemous.
The fuck would it matter? It's literally him reading. It's literally him basically reading the shit to you. Oh my god, audiobook, but a YouTuber.
Oh, he's reading it to me.
Essentially, he's reading it and explaining what they're saying.
No, my point exactly. I would rather watch that after I've already read it. Like I do with most. I do that with a lot of stuff. Like for example, Neon Genesis. That was one of the main animes that I like rigorously looked up after I finished the manga and the anime and the first couple of movies they created for it before I watched the One Dots. I would gladly go rewatch them.
The only anime I've done, like I've done extensive research into, was Naruto, One Piece, Higurashi.
Okay.
And this is not the last one. Mobile Gundam and Madoka Magica. Oh, those are the only animes I've ever done extensive research into, because I just care about every fucking show.
I think you care about Madoka Magica a little bit too much, gang.
Maybe.
But
I want the depression to stop.
Wait. I gotta say, before we continue the anime conversation, I wanna say my the characters I like or dislike from Digital Circus before we get too far from it.
I mean, we've almost been recording for an hour. There's no point.
Really?
And like, yeah. Oh. It's like 4:40, 5:40 for you.
Well, damn.
But we wasn't gonna spend the whole podcast talking about that. That's why I started to branch out.
Oh well. Wait, I want to say this small thing. I like Jack.
No, go for it.
I like Jack. I'll pin him down, oil him up. That little fucking purple little rabbit.
But that's the thing though. Like everybody talking about like how like attractiveness and the whatever. But I'm like, the dude's a dick, and he's not even like the comedic. He's not even like the comedic relief. Where it's like, oh, well, he's joking, so it's like, oh, whatever. He's just a dick.
Yeah, he's just an asshole. I like it.
And I saw that in episode 1 and episode 2 was just him being him. And people and you saw how people were mad at it. And I'm like, This is literally him from the jump. He just doesn't care.
I think it's because of the fact that he was there was
Mhm.
like too many scenes where it seemed like Jack was being more of a master manipulator and like just like not even like past and like it's past asshole and dick. He's just evil and just being a
I
twat for
mean,
no reason.
but he did that in episode 1 too, because like the episode, like he literally made the adventure for them harder
True.
because he wanted more of a challenge or because he wanted more chaos. The nigga is just, I don't want to say evil, but he's an asshole and a manipulator because he manipulated in episode 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. That's why I'm like, I don't understand how people are so mad at him in episode 2. He did the exact same thing in episode 1. He quite literally almost got people killed in episode 1 just because he wanted more fun. Did the exact same thing, and I'm like,
It would be kind of funny if doesn't like we keep talking about Caine and it turns out that Jack's actually the one controlling everything.
man, I'm gonna be smoking that Jack's pack.
I'm gonna be smoking
So
that Jack's
fucking
pack.
Ooh, because I just, because I'm gonna talk so much shit on the fandom, on this weird obsession fandom with Jax. I'm going to talk so much. Ooh, bro, I'm gonna have the bunny, I'm like the Jax bunny ears, the red, I mean the purple glass, and be like, this your king? This is the one y'all worship? This is your king?
This is your king.
Fraud. Jax, I'm calling it now. Hashtag Jax is a fraud. I'm doing it. I'm saying that.
Hashtag Jax is a fraud is crazy.
Sure.
But let's do the final thoughts. I truthfully, I don't know. I can't. I need more episodes of Digital Circus to come out before I can really flesh out my theories because the the world of the Digital Circus is, like you said, grim. It's very grim because the characters can't die in conventional ways, and so I'm assuming that the characters can only die if if they abstract or if they are into the void or if Caine just says, "Aren't you an NPC?" and just and just erases them from existence. And so I really don't know what direction the Digital Circus is going into. I'm hoping that they continue with actually fleshing out the story and they don't come out with a any form of a mini series or any form of a episode where it's not focused on the fact that Pomni is trying to adjust to the fact that she's living in this digital universe now. And
I mean, towards the end of the second episode, when it was like she like she kind of the whole eye twitch going crazy thing, and but then she kind of like started smiling and started getting more into it, and I'm like, how? Why?
well, not necessarily she got more into it. It was because of the funeral service at the end. Because of the fact they couldn't do the funeral service in episode 1, they did it in this episode. And Pomni uh sitting there watching that realized that she actually wasn't alone because at the beginning of episode 2 they showed Pomni going down into the abstract pit and everyone like laughing and forgetting about her. But then at the end, they show Pomni getting grasped by everyone, including Jack somehow, and pulling her back up. And so she's like, "Yeah, this place kind of sucks, and I'm probably gonna end up abstracted one day, but at least I'm not gonna be abstracted alone."
You know what's gonna piss me off because I know it's gonna happen. They're gonna have an episode where they do like you saw Jack isn't so bad, and I'm gonna be like, oh my god,
Guys, Jack isn't so bad, and in that same episode, Jack dies. That's some lore building right there. I need one of the main characters to actually die. I feel like if one of them die, they're gonna show us something that's in the real world because somehow in some way something from the real world is gonna get inside the digital circus. There is no way that this place is impenetrable, or if not, like the people that are inside the digital circus are being looked for, or they're not because this is a theory, a digital circus theory. Any final thoughts and concerns, friend?
I think that I think there's a chance that honestly, considering how hopeless this whole thing look, I feel like this show is taking a lot of inspiration from Danganronpa, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of good on the whole, you know, you lose hope, you fuck thing, just because, like, I feel like that hope is kind of being overused, or I feel like, and I kind of feel like that just because, like, okay, yeah, I think about it.
I'm thinking.
At like say where this is like the last 3 year span, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last 3 year. Hold on, last. Well, let's say last 5 years, so I can include Higurashi.
Okay.
Higurashi losing hope. Wow, that is a main focus. Well, it's not its main focus as the other shows I'm about to get into, but it is huge. Higurashi, willpower. Shiki.
But that has not came out in the last 5 years, though.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about as in shows. I'm talking about in shows I've watched in the last 5 years. This is my thought process.
Oh.
So, Higurashi, Shiki, I've literally watched you play Danganronpa multiple times.
Facts.
Oh, Mori, like
Facts.
these, like the media I'm consuming, Madoka Magica, like over like a 5 year something span.
Teacher, I have a question. I feel like it's just like with, because you said Amori, I want to take Amori out of that for you because I feel like with games like that, it's just because of the fact that like mental health is becoming more prominent in modern, in like actual focused in mainstream media, and so games like Amori, Grim Hollow, God, there was another one, I can't think of it. It's like it's this new game that came out that's also like Amori, but it follows they all center around the main thing, mental health, or struggling with something that is out of their power because they're young kids. And so I don't really think in the context of the Digital Circus, Shiki, and Danganronpa, I don't think you can really put Omori in that same category. I feel like that would be in its own grim category, because I agree with you. Danganronpa and the Digital Circus, they have some similarities, and then with Shiki, kinda ish, but it's just grim and sad. And so I don't and so like that, but that's like the baseline of a comparison that I can get to the Digital Circus.
It's in the sense. It's in the sense of like there's a world.
Echo Proxy.
You put it, yeah. I think Technolize is a better example than Argo Proxy in this case. But yeah, Argo Proxy and Technolize, just because when I mean this, I mean like this is media where media consumption where like you're put in a world, or you're in a world where it is grim, it is dark. There's really no hope, to barely any hope of really becoming anything or doing anything for yourself or anything. Just because of how harsh the reality is of like, really, you just kind of just don't matter in the grand scheme, or really at all, or in any facet. And Technolize did that arguably the best out of, well, Madoka Magica and Technolize have done the whole, you kind of don't matter at all in the grand scheme of thing, or really just in general. I feel like those two shows have done it the absolute best, and man, it is.
It's great.
It is.
I can't wait. Dark. I can't wait for this last movie to come out. This last movie, and Madoka Magical will be
coming into a full circle. Finally, we're doing a full review on Madoka Magica. Like I'm talking about
Of course.
full review. Cause
I'm not gonna lie. I have a theory. We do gotta end, but I got a theory before we do our outros.
okay.
My theory is, what's her name? The time traveling girl.
Oh God.
Is it Higuruma?
No. Himara. Yeah. HOM. Oh God. ERA. Homura. That's her name. Homura. Yeah. Yeah. So I did spell it right. Jesus Christ.
I feel like Homura is gonna become Malperkus now.
But she's already become the god of darkness and sun Madoka back.
But she's not a witch, technically. Because she became a witch, then stole Madoka's powers and basically reverted herself from witch form back into magic girl.
No, she became a god. She's a god.
Yeah, after she stole Madoka's power.
Yeah.
So essentially Madoka's wish is still technically going on, but not really. Cause you gotta think, cause her wish was a multiversal wish. It put her in every reality everywhere. So even though her powers were stolen in this particular thing, in this particular universe, that doesn't mean that ripple effect take her powers in every multiverse or in every other universe. Because if that's the case, then the shit may just end.
Yeah, and like this is the last this movie is the last movie of the series because it's gonna be Homura versus it's Homura versus like Madoka and all the other new witches that we haven't seen because you wanted to watch the fucking movie first. But I'm gonna bite you for that. I'll never let you forget that. Made me watch my shit backwards. Nah,
it wasn't backwards.
Yes,
it was the fact that like it was what they did was they took season 1 because apparently what we watched was the recap of season 1 through 3.
Well, no, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the last movie that we watched. That was an entirely new series, and I told you it was a new series because I saw the manga. Like that series is a continuation of the first part of the first season with just different characters. And so that's what I was talking about. But yeah, no, the other movies, they're somewhat kind of like the Neon Genesis movies on where it's a recap, but towards the middle and end it's something completely different. But that's something we're gonna talk about when we actually do the full Madoka Magica review. I'm excited for that one. Like that's gonna be that's gonna be a work of art, truthfully, because I love that series. But any final thoughts and concerns, friend?
Nah, let's take it on.
All right. Well, you heard it from him, boys. Stuck with me now. So it was a pretty good episode, you know. No complaints. Yeah, we had no complaints. We had a good conversation. We talked about Digital Circus, which is 100% a wonderful YouTube series that y'all should 100% check out. It's made by Glitch, and Glitch, they're a phenomenal animator. And this is not sponsored, and I'm not friends with Glitch, but I'm just saying y'all should check out the Digital Circus and the rest of their work. They're an amazing animator. But besides that, I truthfully have been your host, Cameron. And see that motherfucker right there. He was my co-host, Mario. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And y'all have a very good one. See you.
See ya.